All right, everybody, today is the 5th. Make sure you update your table of contents. Make sure you take out your notebook and update that table of contents and start your attendance quiz. Today we are talking point slope forms. So that's what you should be putting in your table of contents for today. Now, before we do this, I want to go over Friday's check for understanding. Okay, so on Friday, you guys had this first question where you had to come up with the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, I picked 2 points so I can get my slope. My rise is 1, my run is 2, so my slope is 1 over 2. Now, while I can take a good guess of what my y-intercept is, I want to make sure I'm accurate, so I'm going to use this coordinate right here to come up with my y-intercept. That coordinate is 1, -4. So I'm going to put 1, -4 here, plus b. -4 equals 1/2 plus b. Subtract 1/2 from 4, and you're going to get -4.5 equals b. So that means my equation is y equals 1/2 x minus 4.5, which is probably what you suspected it to be. But again, we just wanted to make sure we were 100% accurate, because sometimes while it looks like it's correct, it ends up being very close, but not the exact answer. All right, on to the second question that you guys had. This was a multiple choice question. You had 2 points. You had to find your slope first to be able to write your equation. So I have -4, 5. I have -2, 5. My change in y is +0. My change in x is +2. So 0 divided by 2 is 0. That makes my slope in my equation y equals 0x plus b. Well, 0 times x is just 0. So, and 0 plus b is just b. That means my equation is y equals b. So if I plug in one of these coordinates, whatever the y value is my b. Well, the only y value I have is 5. So that means that 5 is b. So in the end, what that means is that my y equals 5 would be my equation, and this is my answer. All right, on to what we're talking about today, which is point slope form. Go ahead and write down this equation, in what each part represents. In point slope form, the 2 things that you always need are a point and a slope. The slope is our n, just like slope intercept. x1, y1 is our coordinate, okay? x1 is going to be the x part of the point, the y1 is the y part of the point. Now, in my equations, when I'm pulling my coordinate out, notice here it says the negative, it's minus x and minus y1. However, when I pull that coordinate out, it's not going to end up being negative numbers. It's going to be positive x1, positive y1. If you don't quite understand, you will when I get to these examples here. So on this example, if I'm identifying my slope is 5. But my point, it was -4 here, it's going to be +4 here. It's -2 here, it is going to be +2 here. On the next one, my slope is -7. My coordinate, I was -3 here, so my x is going to be +3. My y is +9, so it's going to be -9 in my coordinates. In this equation here, my slope is going to be -1/3. My coordinate is going to be -6, +15. On the next one, my slope is 2/9. My coordinate is -8, -12. If you don't want to write all these down, I'd say at least get through 2 of these equations written down so you have good examples of what to do to identify these. All right, now let's get into actually writing some equations. Whenever you write a point slope form, again, we're now into our second form. You got to make sure you pay attention to what form they're asking for. Since they say point slope, I go ahead and write down what that equation looks like. I'm first going to check to see, do I have a slope given? I do, at -2. Do they give me a point? They do, at 814. So my x1 is going to be 8, my y1 is going to be 14. So put 8 in for y1 and put 14 in for y1, okay? They were both positive, so they're going to be negative in the equation. Y minus 14 equals -2, x minus 8. And keep those parentheses, by the way. You do need those in this equation. All right, on the next one, a line passes through the points 2, 3, -3, and has a slope of 4. Write an equation in point slope form. So y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. My slope is 4, so I'm going to put that in for m. My point is 2 and -3. So 2 is my x1. It was positive, so it's going to be negative in my equation. -3 goes in. It was negative, so it's going to turn positive in my equation. Y plus 3 equals 4, x minus 2. All right, guys, you take a shot at this. Try and see if you can get this one. All right, let's see if you got what I'm going to get. Y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. My slope is -3/8. My x1 is 16, -16. So in my equation, it's going to turn to positive. Y minus my y1, which is -6.5. Since it was negative, it's going to turn to positive. And there we go. That's what you should have gotten. All right, guys, I'm going to pick up from here in part 2 of our video.